start this recording in progress. Yay. Okay. Awesome. Well, hey, y'all, Rocky is on. Let me introduce her. We are so happy to have you, Rocky. Yay. Rocky is a senior director with 24 years, y'all, 24 years in the Pampered Chef business. She has $1,350,347.89 in career sales, 354 career recruits. Her highest month income is $23,000 in a month, and her average monthly income is $10,000, y'all. Okay, you can make money in this business. And her big, scary goal, circle of honors in developing leaders. So welcome. Thank you so much, Rocky, for joining us. We are so excited. So I'm going to let you go ahead and take it away, and I will mute myself.
Well, I don't think I've ever heard your voice, Jennifer, and I want your accent. I was like, oh, I got to remember how she said that. So awesome. Love it. All right. Well, we're going to talk about systems and organizing your business today, because certainly I would not have lasted probably 1 week in this business without being organized. Like many of you, I was busy when I started. That was like what held me back. Could I fit this in? But I'm going to back up. And the reason why I gave Jennifer those stats of income was because I remember at one of my very, very first team trainings, they were live then, Dottie Shepard, the highest level was an executive director. And Dottie Shepard, who is retired now, came for a visit and showed us her paycheck. And I about fell over because I joined to make, about $500 a month. That would give us a little bit of wiggle room. I had no idea. And it was an hour drive to that meeting and an hour drive home for me. And I remember thinking, I don't even think I could spend that amount of money. What would I do with it? Like, it just blew my mind. And right after that, it was game on. I want to make $10,000 a month. And, if there's other people doing it, then I've got to learn everything I can, because what we do isn't real difficult. I know, I think it was you, Tiffany, showing that looked like some fancy stuff. But really what we do isn't difficult. We've all done much harder things in our life than Pampered Chef. So let's get on with it. Can I share my screen? Okay, good. All right. All right. So like I said, today we're going to talk about systems in organizing your Pampered Chef business. And what we're going to cover is how to create a system. You can snag somebody's system, or you can create your own, or you can modify. How to calendar your system. We're going to get those details in, so when it comes to working your system, you don't waste any time. You jump in and you get to work. You're not figuring stuff out at this time. And then you're going to see if your system is even possible, because sometimes we get excited and we want to do, all the things all the time, and then it's overwhelming and we do zilch. And then we want to create a habit of using your calendar. And then finally, we're going to evaluate. Every day you get to evaluate your system. And I love this. What are we going to automate? What are we going to delegate? And what are we going to eliminate? And you can decide that every single day. So creating your system. I don't know if any of you have heard of mind mapping, but it is a brain dump. And you can take whatever topic you want. And I'm going to use dieting as an example, or getting healthy. You're going to write, that at the top of a page, and you're going to just let your mind think of every single thing that's going to help you on your healthy journey. I'm going to buy new shoes. I'm going to sign up at a gym. I'm going to join some Facebook groups. I am going to clear my cabinet of unhealthy food. I'm going to make a list of what we're going to have for dinner and have those available to me. Just like that. You're just thinking. So think about, Pampered Chef now. How do I get bookings on my calendar? And you're going to let your brain go. Some of it is going to be goofy. Some of it, might not stay on the list. That's okay. Sorry, there is a fly in here. I don't know how it ventured in at this time. But you are going to brain dump, and you're going to do it for everything you want a system for. What do you need to have happen in your Pampered Chef business that's not happening right now? So brain dump and get everything on your paper with regards to what you're creating that system for. So this, and you ask yourself these words: how can I? How can I have more bookings on my calendar? And you just keep repeating it. And your brain at some point, usually, maybe a couple hours after you say, how can I? Out of the blue, it's going to fire off with ideas. They're just going to pop in your head. You're not even going to realize, probably aren't even thinking about it at this moment, but that's what our brains do. It's going to fire off something, and you want to write it down. So if you're not always sitting at your desk, pull up those notes on your phone, type it in, or, record it with your voice or something like that. So you can write it down and you can go back and work on your map. So this is what it might look like. And this is very scaled down because, for time and graphics sake, what it might look like. So some things for Pampered Chef that you might be interested in developing a system for are bookings, recruiting, onboarding new consultants, developing leaders, and recognizing what you want repeated. So in this example, bookings, you could write, okay, well, what if I reached out to 30 people every day? What if I asked every single person in my parties? What if I offered a birthday bash to everybody that's having a birthday next month? Or what if I reached out to everybody that had a party with me last month? And then you're going to think of other things. You're going to write them down. Same with recruiting. How can I recruit more people? Well, if I asked my host, honestly, every host 5 times, if I reached out to those party rock stars, what if I did my own turbo recruiting challenge every month? Onboarding. What if I knew what my consultants wanted, my new consultants wanted out of their business? If I knew them a little better, what if I told them what's in it for them when they join? What if I taught every new consultant my booking system and they had a map to follow? What if I taught my new consultant how to run a party? Developing leaders, do we have a get the more you're looking for event, or does my upline have that? How can I share the Pampered Chef career plan? Is there a director bound program, or does my upline run a director bound program? How can I market this career plan to people on my team? And then recognition. How do I recognize those that put parties and share what they're doing? How do I recognize people that are selling? How do I recognize people that are recruiting and are getting promotions in Pampered Chef? And I'm saying this is very, your mind is probably already going crazy. What else can I add? Ooh, I seen this from this person. I took this training. I want to add that. It's golden, all this stuff. So you want one piece of paper for each one of these, and you just want to go nuts, bananas, and it's going to get messy, and that's okay. Because now we are going to streamline it, and we're going to figure out what's possible. What can my personality, my lifestyle handle? And, my business is completely different, than when I started 24 years ago. We had young children. They were in a lot of activities. My husband worked shift work. It's different, and your business will change as your life changes throughout the years. So it doesn't mean that you can't do it. Maybe just means that you can't do it right now. Okay. So, push yourself. And what I like to say is, as you're putting in and you're working through this, week after week, what you want to be able to do is accomplish at 85%. 85% is going to keep you moving forward. Okay. And if it's not 85%, you really do have to go to the automate, delegate, or eliminate system. All right. So no business can succeed in any great degree without being properly organized. Okay. So if you're thinking, all right, well, I've got this far, but I'm just feeling like everything's scattered. And so you might be a little stuck. How can I get this so it starts working like a well-oiled machine? Because if it's not organized, chances are a lot of things are falling through the crack. It's getting lost in the shuffle, and all the things we have to do. Pampered Chef isn't the only thing we do. Something's getting lost. So let's get organized about this. It's like going to the grocery store without a list. And then you come home, you spent $200 or $300, and there's nothing to make for dinner. That's what it's like. So we're going to talk about one of my very first assistants is Google Calendar. And I could not live without Google Calendar. It lets me be free of all my things to do. It allows me, it almost is like a personal assistant that says, it's right behind me saying, Rocky, on today, you have to meet with this person. And then at this, you have these new consultants. And then on this, it's just like that person, and what can I help you with? It's right there. So it is my BFF. I like that you can access it across, it's tied to your Gmail, so you can access it anywhere. And in this business, our work is flexible, but it is not optional. So you will quickly find out what's not getting done. And if there are more days that you're seeing you're deleting it or just moving it to the next day because it didn't get done, it's a sign why whatever in that system isn't working. And then that's a whole different question, your belief, your will, or your skill. So that's a different training. But remember this, it is flexible, it's just not optional. So let's take a look at some calendars. So in Google Calendar, I'm going to go over to my right-hand side here. You can create calendars. Okay, so if it was a family, you'd have, your calendar, maybe your husband's calendar, your daughter's calendar, your son's calendar, the dog's calendar. You'd have all these in a family. You could create them, and then when they overlap, you could see what's going on. Can we do that? Do I need to get someone else to take the dog to the vet? So those calendars are nice. I use it for Pampered Chef. So my calendars are, my director bound program. And I think this might go in alphabetical order. I just screenshot how it came up in my Google Calendar. So this is not in any order of preference or to do like, hi, I have to do these first. It's just, I think, alphabetical maybe. But my director bound program system, my system for supporting directors, my system for supporting my personal team, my recognition, my recruiting, my personal business. So if it doesn't fit in any calendar, it goes in my personal business. This is what I want to do. Maybe it's like, oh, my personal business, I want to create a system, or I want to attend this training, or whatever it is. My personal life, this is important. You don't want to overbook yourself. You want to leave room. If there's something important in your personal life, get it in there. I mean, you'll see mine has dinner. I need to stop because I'm a workaholic. That's important to me. It's important to my family. So it goes in my calendar. It goes into my calendar. If someone tries to, schedule a call with me, it'll block it out. It won't take anything right then. And it seems so like, oh, of course you're going to have dinner. But for me, I have to have that. Some of the things you'll see are so trivial. But there are things that they're so important. They're as important as my Pampered Chef business. And my party, the things that I need to do for my party. So those are the different calendars that I have that are actually the system. And so whenever I create an event or a to-do, I am putting it in the correct calendar. So I can take a look and say, okay, so I'm not promoting any directors. What's going on? And look at it. Well, I really didn't put in there when I was going to invite, when I was going to look over everybody on my personal team and invite them. So here we are starting the Director Brown program, and I don't have any participants. So I go back and I'm like, that's what's missing. Let me put that in. So you can take a look at a big picture and make sure that, maybe you're adding something, maybe you're subtracting something. So over here on the, that's right, this is left-hand side, your calendar will grow your calendars will grow as your business grows. So right here, if you're a consultant, team leader, or senior consultant team leader, these are some things you might want to think about. Having a calendar or a system that has all your Pampered Chef training events you need to show up at. If you're not, do you have a replay? When are you going to watch that? Your team, what is your team or your organization offering? And the more things, that's the beauty of network marketing is that, there's someone out there that thinks like you, has a lifestyle like you that you can learn from. So you do want to take advantage of hearing from other consultants, directors in our company. You as a consultant, team leader, I'm saying this backwards, sorry, consultant, senior consultant, team leader, you want to have a recruiting system that may include this or something else, your 5 asks, following up, turbo recruiting challenge, your opportunity event that you are participating in. You want a booking system, birthday bash, follow up with your guests at the party, ask and follow up, random asks. And I coach to have a share rewards party at the end of the month that anybody that tells me no or doesn't respond, I invite them to that party. You know that you've asked a lot when your shared rewards party is full. So you also would want a host coaching system for your party. What will that involve? Like making sure that party count is up. Thank you for ordering, party goal, checkout chats, update that checklist, whatever your party system is. Do you have a checklist? Is everything getting a check mark all the time? Social media, very important now. Wasn't important a little while ago, but it is now. So how are you showing up on social media? How are you showing your products? How are you sharing our business opportunity? How are you sharing what our host program has to offer? And how are you showing up as you, as someone that people would want to work with or purchase from, that know, like, and trust factor? And then your pampered chef business, whatever doesn't fit in any other calendar in your personal life. All right. So that's what I see as a consultant, senior consultant, team leader. Those things should be mapped out. Then as you grow in our career plan and you promote to director, some things that you'll want to add are personal team recognition, onboarding new consultants, and a director-bound program. And not always do you, like the director-bound program, do you have to run this yourself? All right. Again, we're network marketers. You can join with someone in your upline, partner with someone else in the company so that you don't have to take on this whole entire workload. Okay. This is kind of like a co-op, where the more people participate, the easier it is. And then an upper level leader. So this would be advanced directors, senior directors, executive directors. You want your director and organization recognition. You want to think about going live so that your team knows you, because pretty soon you're going to have people joining your organization that there's such a big spread, you don't get to meet them, you don't get to know them, but they'll start knowing you. Director support, how are you supporting your directors to be paid at title every month, and having some kind of director huddle either monthly or weekly? I know sometimes it feels like you're just talking all day, which is fun, but there should be some kind of organized thing that they can plan on attending. Monthly team training, and goes along with that as reminders, and then career plan advancement. Luckily for us, our career plan advancement to the senior, advanced senior, and executive levels is Pampered Chef has one. Pampered Chef has a lot of support. They have support for new directors. They have support for going up in level. So, know the requirements for that and how your consultants or yourself get into them, as well as providing some support. If you're in one, then you're learning things that you can pass down. Okay, anybody need time to screenshot or have questions up until this point? All right, I see your lips moving, Jennifer, but I cannot hear you.
I was talking to myself.
Ah!
I said, I don't see anything.
Okay. Oh, wait, there's something in the chat. Is that for me or no? Oh, you're welcome, Marianne. Okay. Okay. So now let's talk about Google Calendar and learn. The first thing we're going to learn. Let me ask you, how many of you use Google Calendar? Just type in the chat. That would be easiest. Or raise your hand. I can only see 4 people. So let's learn, for those of you that don't know how to use Google Calendar, let's just, I'm going to stop share and I'm just going to take you through creating a system. Okay, let me find. Aha. Okay, so, okay. Don't let this scare you. We're going to, so over here on your calendars, you'll see right under, the monthly calendar that you can click on calendars. It's going to show you all your calendars, but you can click on the plus and you can click create a new calendar. So I'm going to call this booking. This is my booking calendar or your system. And you can assign it a color. So let's see. So it's right here. It assigned it peach, but you can click this little eye or no, wait, that's if you don't want to see it. I think you can click right here. And then there should be, well, you can, I haven't done this in a little while, but you can change the color. If you want them all different, but you can change this color. It assigned it the salmon color. That's okay with me. So I have a booking calendar now. And I am going to go to my brain dump page where I wrote down every single thing I could think about bookings. And I'm going to look and I'm going to decide, I'm going to look like at 2 things. And I'm going to go, okay, out of these 2 things, or look at them, which ones, what top 5 or whatever do I have to do I want to do? The other ones could be, maybe they fit into those, but you're going to organize them. So let's say, then you're going to go to this button up here that says create, and it's going to create an event for you. So I might say, I want to do 30 asks a day. Might say that. And then I'm going to go down to this down here, and I'm going to look for my booking calendar, and I'm going to click on it. And then there's more options. So when I have a task that I'm going to do every day, and for me, it doesn't matter if I do it morning, noon, night, midnight. I make it as an all-day event. And that way it looks to me like a checklist, or like I wrote it down there, and nothing gives me greater satisfaction than crossing something off my list. So this creates it to kind of look like that in your Google Calendar when you mark the all-day event, okay? And you can put, okay, I want to do this daily. You can customize it Monday through Friday, or sometimes when I don't want my calendar, if it's something I'm going to do every day, I won't have it repeat, because then it makes all of your calendars have a bunch of stuff on them. But if it's daily, I'll show you what it looks like when it's daily. And then down here in the description, remember I said we want to get detailed so we don't waste time. I'm going to write everything I can do for my asks. I'm going to write birthday bash. I'm going to write, well, maybe I'm going to do that on a certain date. Let's say I'm going to do Frank's list. I'm going to do Facebook. I might even put in here some booking words that I want to copy and paste. So, let's just say, okay, hey, don't use this to book a party. Okay, don't say that, but just because, but whatever your favorite booking words, maybe you have a whole bunch of them that you like to choose from. Put it there. You don't want to be going to all different things because time. Okay. So then we say, okay, save. So I think I saved that to probably today. Yes, here it is today. Here's on the 18th, here's my booking asks. So let me take all these calendars off so you don't get. Okay, so there's my booking ask. So usually in the morning, what I do is we'll talk about that, but there's my booking ask. If I just hover over it, I can just go here. Hey, do you want to book a party? Copy that, start sending those out. I'm going to pull up my Frank's list because that's somewhere in a Google Doc or Sheets or something. Or you're going to pull up your Facebook and start with the A's and go to the Z's. But it's going to tell you where you're going to find, what and where you need to be and what you're going to do. And it should be right at your fingertips. So then you're going to go to the next thing. You're going to go to create. Okay, so I'm going to create an event. And now I'm going to do a birthday. And I want to do this every day. Okay, birthday bash reach outs. More options. I'm going to put my booking words for my birthday bash here. Okay. And this time I am only going to do this monthly, right? I'm going to do my I'm going to do custom, and I'm going to do this monthly, every month. And I'll probably do it on the third Saturday or whatever, the 18th, but it's kind of later in the month because I'm going to be doing, let's see, I'm going to do it a little bit later because I'm going to be doing like the 20th is good, starting with April. So save. So now here's my, whoops, I didn't mark it as an all-day event. I want to do that and save. Okay, so there's my birthday bash reach outs on the 20th. So on the 20th, there is my words, and I'm going to sit down and go through everybody that has a birthday in April and knock those out. And then if I look at, oops, April, is it on there? Whoops, didn't I say every month? That's how you can tell if you messed up. Okay, edit. Oh, it does not repeat. So monthly on the third Monday, that sounds good, save. And so then it will be there next month, April. You're not going to forget it. It comes up. It's going to come up in May, in June, in July. Every month you're going to do that. Okay. So that's another thing that's not going to fall through the cracks. And you're going to do the same thing for everything else that is on your booking system or whatever system you've created. Now, let me see, someone popped up here. Oh, okay, good. I'm glad you like it, Jennifer. So Any questions so far? Okay, so the two things you can create are an all-day event that's going to give it that big, like, cross it off my list today. And if you don't click that, then you will assign it a time. And the only time I do that, if it's an appointment, if it's a training I have to attend. And let's say that, this is in bookings that you want to attend your director's booking training. So you're going to put it in, and it happens to be on, let's see, when's my next booking training? Happens to be on Wednesday, the 22nd. And it is at 5 p.m. And what I would do here, I would put the Zoom link. So you're not fishing around. Oh my gosh, I need to put the Zoom link. So this is funny, but if stuff for Pampered Chef, like I'm good. I put it in there and I'm golden. If it is a dentist appointment that I'm putting in here, I need reminders. So right here, it'll ask you to add a notification 10 minutes. And so what I'll do is 1 week, tell me I have a dentist appointment 1 week before, maybe 2 days before, maybe 4 hours before, and maybe 1 hour before, so I can get there. But it'll let you add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 notifications to remind you. So if it's something that you don't usually do, if you usually don't set appointments on the weekend and you told someone you were going to call them on the weekend because that's the only time you could call them, set up your notifications. If it's out of the blue stuff or you just don't want, set those up, and it will remind you. And it really, really does help. Okay, so put your Zoom link here. When home office sends you that and they send you the Zoom link, copy it right away, put it in there. When your director sends it, put it in there right away. So you're not fishing around. You can just click that, you're on the call, boom, bingo, bango. Because there's nothing worse than a panicked person without a Zoom link. Running out of time. All right, so save. Okay, so now that's on there, that booking, and it'll look different and it doesn't go away. Okay, so that's how you create your system or your calendar, and you're going to get it all in there. So let me stop share and share back at our. Okay, so we learned how to put it into Google Calendar. Now let's take a look how I work this calendar. And for me, I love watching people work their business. It's how I learn. And maybe because when I first started, my director recruiter said, you can come and watch as many shows of mine as you want. And so I did. If I didn't have a show, I would go watch hers, and I would sit in the corner and write down stuff and just watched how she did things. So we were at a director's retreat, and Stacy Itzel was the speaker. And I just wanted to see her calendar. I wanted to see what was on it, what she did, how she worked, and I asked her. And so we brought up calendars, and it was just so insightful for me to see that. So it's one of my questions. Can I see your calendar? What do you have on it? What are you doing? When are you doing it? How are you doing it? I just want to see. So here's my calendar. Okay. If I can find it. Aha. Yeah, it's right here. I couldn't find it because it looks so blank. All right. So I'm going to put all of my calendars back in. And if I'm only working like one thing or whatever, I'm going to put them all back on. The reminders. So I know these are my calendars because I capitalized everything. This is Google Calendar. Your Google Calendar will come with reminders. I don't use that. It'll come with tasks. I don't use that either. So, so when I walk into my office in the morning, what I'll do is I will go to a 4-day view. And when you're in this 4-day view, so here's Thursday the 16th through Sunday, I can tell what I didn't do on Friday, what I have to do today. So I purposely left this like this, so you could see what I am going to do. So I don't know what I want to talk about first. Okay, so I will say, usually if it looks like this, really, I try to do what I didn't do yesterday first before I move on today. And I go through every one of these. Okay, am I going to do it today? Am I going to give it to somebody else to do? Asks for help. Or am I going to just delete it and we're not doing it? We'll do it next month. You know what I mean? So you have to, at this point, decide the stuff you didn't get done the day before. Are you going to automate, delegate, or eliminate? Okay. So let's say this, update my vision board. I didn't do that yesterday, so I'm going to drag it over and it's on to today. And now it's going to be over here. Okay. And I'm going to go through this whole thing and decide, am I going to do it today? Am I going to, let's see, you know what? I don't feel like doing bookings today. I'm going to just delete it. I don't want to do that though. Now I got to find it. That's okay. You know, any of those things. So you can decide where they go. So if it happens that you open up your 4-week calendar and, you know, and you have things still on from all these days and it's happening chronically, then you need to reevaluate. Some of this stuff isn't working. Why isn't it working? Is just your lifestyle, you know, too much, or, you know, you don't have the words, the time, whatever, you know, figure out how you can fix it. But you'll notice, let's see, when I have something, let me go through. Here it is. Here's my words. That's exactly when I follow up for these directors during the middle of the month. It's what I'm going to ask them. I'm going to shoot that message out, but everything's right there. So I can shoot it out and then I can delete the event. I did it. And now this is getting smaller. So it gets me super excited. And it's almost like a challenge to me to get through this list as fast as I can. Now, let's say, so this past week, my daughter was home for spring break. And I have a default, like if I cannot be in my office or I have to go, you know, take care of my dad, you know, moment's notice or something like that. These are the things that I want to get done come heck or high water. It's my morning routine. And so actually, let me get to this one because the recruiting one is off. So I have this and I do the things that if nothing else happens during the day, nothing, I can have some peace that I wrote in my journal. I read for 20 minutes. I did 30 minutes of recruiting. I did 30 minutes of booking. I said my affirmation and I checked my parties. If nothing else on this list happens, I've taken care of me and my personal business. So I highly recommend you put some things in your morning routine that you want done come heck or high water. If you know, that's like your backup plan. So, and after a while, you just start coming in and doing that and coming in and doing that. And then you could see like for the 18th, I have my morning routine. I go for my walk, Jennifer's system. I'm going to walk. I'm going to make dinner. I have a call tonight. I have 2 calls later tonight that aren't usually. And so I have a million reminders scheduled for those. But that I've put off a lot of things last week because my daughter was home. So like I said, the work is flexible. It's not optional. So I am working today. She just left this morning. So I moved those things over. So questions.
Is this, do you have to pay for Google? It's free. Wow. Okay.
And I have had other people buy those calendars, like they come up in their feed and they're fancy, and you can do basically, they say you can import your Google Calendar and they're a little cuter, but this is, and they cost, this is free, and it is, I just love it. I so love it. And I've been using it a long time. And if it wasn't for this, I'd probably be I'm a workaholic. I'd be in my office a lot. I mean, I have to say, did I text Brianna? That's my oldest daughter, my son. Did I text them today? You know, because it could be like, oh my gosh, I haven't talked to them today. So if you think this is making you do a lot, it also can prevent you from doing a lot. It makes me stop, walk out, get on the swing, text them, tell them a little bit about my day, ask them about theirs, you know. It works both ways. You can have your cake and eat it too. So let's see here. Okay. So when you finally, organize that, you looked at yesterday, what didn't you do? You either move it to today. Oh, am I frozen? Okay. Okay. You move it today and you finally got your day organized. Then you just want to look at one today. That's it. You don't want to look at that big calendar that has all the stuff on it. You just want to look at today. And you want these top ones that there are the all-day events, you want to get them off as fast as you can. So being organized is really being in control. It's having control over everything. And I don't know about you, and I like to be in control. When it's the other way, I feel frazzled. There's often times where I come in and it takes me a while, and I'm like, Rocky, open your calendar. And then you can start. It's almost like, okay, I need someone to tell me, otherwise I'm just wasting time. If it's not on my calendar, it's not on my calendar because it's probably, not going to make me any money, or not going to build, my relationships or keep, in front of my family. So it's not on my calendar for a reason. So if I find myself doing it, I really have to say, get to your calendar, and it's open all the time. Like, what can I check off? What can I scratch off? Oh, yes. So the other beautiful thing about this is Google Calendar, you can share calendars. And you'll just open, remember when we added the calendar, you'll just go to that and go to calendar settings, but exporting, this is good if you want to share your host coaching system and it's already calendared. So you can then, your new consultants on board, she's using our checklist, maybe she wants to automate more stuff. You can say, let me share my calendar. And then it goes right over hers. They get it. And if they make any changes, it will not change yours. So a lot of times I'll share with new directors my recognition. And that's something that they can copy and have and be able to share to do. And they don't have to recreate all that. So the public sharing calendar, and this is good if you have a calendar of all your team events that you want to say, hey, you guys want to put this in your Google Calendar, copy this link, it imports to their Google Calendar. They cannot change it, but if you change it, it updates theirs. So sorry, team training is going to be 30 minutes later. You update yours, it updates theirs. You can put the link in there, all of that. And then this other sharing calendar is good if you have virtual assistants. So you can both view it and make changes. So one thing, if you do get an assistant to help you and your calendar is set, they can see exactly what has to be done on the day it has to be done. And you can see when they've done it because they'll either move it to the next day, the next month, or delete it. So there's not going to be a chance where, gosh, I'm paying all this person this money and they're not doing what I want. I mean, they kind of got it, but, you know, and you can put notes in there. Hey, when you do this, will you do, you know, can you look at this too? Or you can put the instructions on how to get that report or something like that. So I'll just share. So I love recognition. It's very important to me. I think that, and you guys probably, you know, think about recognition and, you know, how much you guys like it personally. I think it can do wonders for anybody's business, whether you're recognizing your hosts, your guests, your team, your organization. So when I got an assistant, that was the first thing. I did not want to slip through the cracks. I want to run my own parties, I want to book my own shows. I want to host coach my own hosts, all of that I want to do. This recognition is my recognition, but I just need you to post it. So it was the first thing I did. So it has everything she's supposed to do and post. But when things slowed down for me, I did not want to get rid of her, but I did need, and I didn't have an assistant till 2020. So my whole career, I have not had an assistant, and till 2020 when things just went nuts. So now what I do is, this is still my recognition calendar, but I do what's red. So if I did not, you know, we still share the calendar. You can see that so everything is done except over here, all of my stuff, all the red stuff's my stuff. But if I wanted her to pick up doing this, I would simply just change it to yellow, and she knows that she's responsible for the yellow stuff. Or things start picking up on, yeah, same. Things start picking up, I can change it. But it's nice. So I know there's nothing over here. If there's something over here, or, I know that she's not working or, what's going on today, or, do I need to do this today? Did something come up on your end? So that's why I do like that sharing calendar. If you're having someone help you, it's good to be organized with it so they do what you want when you want them to do it. Very, very important. Okay. So back again, the work is flexible. It is not optional. And that's it today. So holler if you have any questions, or I'd love to hear any aha moments. Kristen asked, is Google Calendar on your computer? So yes, you can just type Google Calendar. It comes, you can get it on your desktop, you can get it on your phone, you can get it on your iPad, anywhere on any device.
This is great. We've been talking about systems a lot here lately. And so we did talk about the procrastinate on purpose this last. So when you were talking about the automate, delegate, all those.
Yeah, right. It's so liberating. It's so, like it feels good.
Well, and we all have different ways of being organized. And I feel like I'm sort of organized, but then I'm like, no, you're really not. And I have 14 calendars everywhere. I have 2 that are side by side in my kitchen. One in here, one on my phone, one on my computer. And I feel like I need a place where it's just in one place. And then like you said, you can share it. And I was thinking this would be great for host coaching. You can remind put your host coaching in that calendar. And so, just send that out, put it in, remind yourself of what days and all. I don't know. I'm loving it. I'm excited. I appreciate it.
What I'll do so you can screenshot is I'll share each individual calendar. And so as you are brainstorming, mind mapping, you can look over mine to help, trigger some stuff.
Okay.
Here it is. Okay, so, and one thing I don't have is a booking and recruiting system, because I do have I put it in my morning routine with those in there, or it's part of something else. So, but director bound. Oh, maybe I do have a booking one. Oh no, that's the one I just created. Okay. So directors. My personal team. And usually my personal team, it could be a little bit more for you, like a lot of it is in my recognition system, like Green by 15, all of that. But my goal is like to get them to the director bound, like, you know what I mean? So my personal team are usually people that are having kind of a hobby business. Recognition is kind of a biggie. Am I still in April? Yes, okay, because it'll give you a full calendar. And I'll show the booking and recruiting in a second. My business, I don't know if that will help you, but. And then my personal life probably won't help you. And my table parties, I do a checklist too. So these are in conjunction with a checklist that I have, but that's that. Okay, and then I last will show you. That's nothing. Okay. So this morning routine. So that's where I have my booking and my recruiting, like they're the ones that I want done. And when I started to do this, I wanted to see how long is this going to take me? So I started to kind of put times on there so I could really say, okay, can I get this done before 8 o'clock when I want to go walk? Okay, and then Tiffany said, yes. So my whole family will tell you this because I have been saying it. They'll say, hey, mom, like, let's go do this. And I was like, okay, let's do it at whatever time. The business is flexible. It's not optional. So because when you're a mom and you're at home, you look like a free-for-all. Like at everybody's beck and call. So the kids learned early on that it was a legit business. It's how, we got things provided, and it was a choice to either do this or I had to work a 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, and not have the flexibility. So I said it a lot. I do say it a lot. My husband says it more than me now. The work is flexible, not optional. So that was for you, Tiffany. All right. I think, does anybody have a question that I did not get to? Anybody I see? I think I got them all.
I don't have a question, but I cannot wait to get my Google Calendar set up tonight. I'm going to be laying in bed with my computer, working on my Google Calendar and telling Jennifer Harkey to share hers.
I know. I got mine going. I got it on my phone. I just did it on my computer. I'm ready.
When I come home, because I work a full-time job, I'm a nurse practitioner. So I come home and I'm like, I don't even know where to start.
Mm-hmm. It energizes you when you see it and you just like want to knock it out, like boom, boom, boom.
And then I'm calling Tiffany, where's that Zoom link for our meeting tonight? That kind of stuff. And this is going to really be helpful. And that way, if somebody sends that to me, I'm not having to scroll through Facebook, finding the Zoom link to send to them. I can go to my Google Calendar. I can send it in a message really quickly, whether I'm on my phone or whether I'm on my computer at home. It's just really going to be so helpful. I really appreciate you.
You're welcome. And so the other thing for anybody that's doing calls, I use it. It's where I keep my notes for my coaching calls. Right in that note section. So the next time their coaching call comes up, I have it right there, And my favorite thing is to say is, what three things do you want to accomplish before we talk next week? So they're right there. What did they tell me they were going to do that week? And that's where we start. If you're like finding your coaching calls are going too long, or you don't know what to talk about, or you're not, you don't have anything to tell them. You're not, you just start with what they said they were going to do. How's that going? So it's a beautiful app or whatever, calendar creation. That's what I'll call it. It's a beautiful creation.
It is. I am so glad you were come on here and told us about. I was going to show you. This is my Google Calendar. I write everything down. This is my brain dump, but it's not a specific thing. It's everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it does give you satisfaction to mark those things off. So I'm glad that I can put this in one place, but it be separate.
Mm-hmm. So sometimes when I have ideas like that don't fit into anything, I'll just make an all-day event and put ideas, things that I want to do someday. And as I do them, I just take them off. It looks kind of like my morning routine, but up top. So, I got to get this stuff done. I want to do this and I don't want to forget about it. So it's kind of an ongoing ideas thing.
It's great. I could get rid of my notebook. All right. Well, anybody else have any questions?
I have one more question, Rocky. Will I see you in Cancun? Are you on wave 1 or wave 2?
Oh, you're on
I'll see you
wave
in
1.
Chicago.
You're on wave 1.
I'll see you in Chicago then.
Yes, you will. Yeah, my son's birthday is April 13th. So you're April 13th?
Birthday. Yeah. April 13th.
Yep. He's 94. He's going to be 29 this year. I can't even believe it. So anyways, yeah, that's why I chose wave 2.
Okay. Well, I'll see you in Chicago.
For sure.
We'll hang out again.
Yeah. All right, guys. You guys have a great weekend, and I am sure I will see you around. Enjoy the rest of your event.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.